So good morning, everyone. I'm Audrey Russo, President and CEO of the Pittsburgh Technology Council, and I am joined today by Marie Palone. She's Director of Talent Attraction and STEM Development. You're going to hear from her in a moment, but first let me set the stage. It's Friday, but we still have a great, I like to say show, but it's definitely an exchange here. So I'm very excited. I'm very passionate about this. I'm very interested in terms of industrial scientific. They have been, you're going to be very excited. I don't even want to tease you because you're going to be very excited. They've been longtime partners with us at the Tech Council, and they are really working on things that enable a safe workplace utilizing revolutionary technology solutions. So it's going to surprise you. And if you drive out towards the airport, you can always see their sign. And you probably wonder, who are they? Today, joining us is Dani Gais. I don't want to, ruin her last name. Why don't you tell me how to say it correctly, Dani?
Kwiatkowski, a cow who quit skiing.
There you go. And I got to tell you, she prepared a great inside view of her work. She is a customer success relationship manager at Industrial Scientific, and you probably wonder what all that is, and she's going to tell you all about it. So today we have students and educators that are joining us from over 193 different educational institutions. We want to say on behalf of the Tech Council, thank you to each and every educator, administrator, school staff for continuing to fight for our students and families. You are on the front line. We applaud your work, and we're doing just our tiny little part to help you. So at the Tech Council, we work to connect talented and curious students across our region, that's Southwestern Pennsylvania, to our members, more than 1,000 local technology businesses, manufacturing firms, life sciences, and anything that you can imagine people are building in artificial intelligence, autonomous vehicles, you name it, we get a chance to see it. So these companies recognize that the talent that each of you students hold are excited that you are their future, because really that you are the future. And there are jobs that exist today that were not in existence even 3 to 5 years ago. So it's really important to stay connected and to understand all the opportunities. So just a little bit of housekeeping. I want to let you know that this is being recorded, and also thanks to Pittsburgh's Community Television, PCTV. It is being simultaneously broadcast and will be available on demand on their website along with our own. So now I'm just going to pass the baton. Very excited for you to now meet Marie Palone. She's our resident science and math educator. In addition to being just a joyful nerd, she helps connect talent and offer STEM opportunities. So Marie, take it away.
Thank you, Audrey. Thank you to PMI for kicking us off with that amazing opening. Thanks to all of you for joining us. As Audrey said, I am Marie Palone, Director of Talent Attraction and STEM Development here at the PTC. And today and each day of the STEM Summit, we really want maximum participation from all of the teachers, all of the students, all of the participants. If you look down at the bottom of your screen, you should see a Q&A. Please type your questions in there. Anytime throughout the presentation, we will stop at different times and I'll ask those questions. We'll ask them at the end, but please engage with any questions or comments using that Q&A. It's completely safe. No one can see your name. No one can see your question except for me as the host. So feel free to put those in there. Also, Tanner is joining us today. Tanner, you can give a wave. He's our student co-host today, and I'm going to be turning it over to him. He's going to be asking you all a polling question, and he'll ask them throughout the show. But go ahead, Tanner, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tanner Singh. I'm a senior at the Pine Ridge High School, and I just got one question for you guys. Let's see. Pop it up. There we go. Oh. So the one question will be, do you guys have a gas detector at home? And the option choices are yes, no, or I don't know what that is. So of the quick results we had about 69% answered yes, We had about 23% answer no, and we had about 8% answer I don't know what that is.
Thank you, Tanner. So we're going to get more into that as we go into here. And hopefully by the end, you see the importance of gas detection too. But thank you for that. Dani, we'll let you take it away.
Thanks, Marie. Thank you, Audrey, for such a great introduction. I'm so excited to be here. And more importantly, I'm really excited to show you some of the exciting and the innovative work that we're doing at Industrial Scientific. Tanner had kind of kicked us off with asking, do you have a gas detector at home? Most people would be surprised to know that they definitely do. Whether you're using a smoke detector or whether you're using a carbon monoxide detector, you absolutely have a gas detector in your home to let you know that there's a potential hazard. Smoke detector letting you know that you maybe need to exit your house. Carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas that can potentially make you really sick. So let me go ahead, let me start sharing my screen and we'll kind of jump right in. Get back at the beginning here. Sorry about that.
That's okay. We saw the presentation there for a moment. It was, and you zoomed back up to your beginning slide, but it just needed presented.
Yeah, so let me go ahead. Perfect. So again, thank you so much.
There you go.
My name's Dani, and I am a customer success relationship manager at Industrial Scientific. And what that means is I work with our customers firsthand to find out what their needs are and share with them what some of our products can do to help keep them safe in the field. My educational background, I would say I graduated from Clarion University with a degree in mass media arts and journalism. From there, my first job out of college was at a well-known wireless provider. And it was there that I discovered that I really liked finding applications and using technology to help make people make a difference in their lives and help make their lives better. Believe it or not, around the time that I worked there, the iPhone was brand new to most of us. And it was at that point in time that we discovered, people started developing applications that can really help to make our lives better. Part of my job here is, I came in as a technician and answering customer requests and working directly with highly technical teams like our product management team, our engineering team, and our software developers to take customer requests and work with those teams to really find out, to let them know, these are the customer's expectations, and these are some of the things that we can do to really help them. What we do here at Industrial Scientific is we're a manufacturer of gas detectors. And what that means is they are small, just like your smoke detector or your carbon monoxide detector at home. It's an electronic device that lets you know that there is a hazard or a hazardous gas that is present in your environment. So the slide that we're looking at right now it's a picture Audrey had mentioned a little bit earlier about our building. If you definitely would have noticed us if you're on your way to the airport. We're pretty hard to miss. I very much wish that you all could be here to really see some of the stuff that happens here behind the scenes. We have a variety of different labs with a variety of people who are really doing different work. We have labs where software is tested, where we test hardware. And sometimes from that third floor that you're looking at, we're actually physically dropping instruments from the building to test their durability to find out how will they survive some of these rough and tumble environments that they might be exposed to. These instruments, before they go out into the field, they're really put through a lot of strenuous tests to make sure that not only are they safe to people for people to use, but also to make sure that they're going to survive some of the environments where it might be super hot, super cold, or just really rough and tumble, dirty environments where these instruments will be doing their job of keeping people safe. The right picture is a picture of our assembly line that's downstairs, where a team actually puts our monitors together, and they're doing important. They've been here every single day since most of our company right now, as you might notice, I'm kind of up here by myself, but as a safety company, we're taking the most precautions with allowing a limited number of people in and out of the building. These folks have been here the entire time that we've been safely social distancing, making sure that our customers have all of the products and the services that they need on a daily basis. And everybody in our building, we work as a cross-functional team. We have teams of engineers. We also have teams of software developers, and we have trainers that are really responsible for going out into the field to teach people how to use our products and ultimately how to keep people safe. So our vision, everybody here is really working towards our vision, which is working towards eliminating workplace deaths by the year 2050. It's 2020, we're really right around the corner. And as of 2018 alone, OSHA had, the numbers from OSHA were that 5,250 people died that year due to workplace deaths. That's 14 people a day that are not returning home to their families at the end of the day because they're exposed to workplace hazards like poisonous gases or gases that could potentially make them sick. What we're doing to really ramp up and get us closer to meeting that goal is using some of the same technology that you have in your cell phone to get us there quicker. How, I'm sure everybody right now, with COVID, everybody's moving closer to, being touchless, and we're practicing social distancing. Have you used NFC at the grocery store? Or another example of NFC, it's called, near field communication. So we have to be super close to something to get it to read. It's a transfer of data that's happening at a really short distance. You might have seen someone at the grocery store use NFC or at Starbucks to pay with a card without actually having to make contact with that other person. We're also using cellular service as well as Wi-Fi, just like you have at your home. All of our customers have started to these are all steps that we can take to communicate information in real time, to really get information to people and administrators to help them make decisions to ultimately keep people safe. So our customers are really wide and varied across a really, they do a bunch of different jobs, and they make products that you and I use and may take advantage of every single day. So to demonstrate who our customers are, let me take you on a short road trip. So when you're going on a short road trip, what's one of the first things you might need? You're going to need to you'll likely need to fill up your gas tank. You're probably going to take something to drink, right? You're going to fill it up with water. You're probably not, if you're like me, you're probably not going anywhere without snacks. Snacks are very important. You're taking your cell phone to navigate GPS. Maybe you are in the passenger seat and you want to play games while you're along for the ride. You want to take toilet just in case. You never know, you might need to take a paper product. And last but not least, I don't think any 2020 road trip is complete without hand sanitizer. All of these products are made from jobs that our customers do every single day, whether it is refining oil to make gas that we put in our cars, whether it is manufacturing fertilizer to help us grow crops, grow for our food, and also making sure that we have clean water to drink. In addition to that, believe it or not, your cell phone would not be possible without the help of miners. Cell phones have components of various precious metals like copper and silver that are the result of mining. Hand sanitizer that we've been carrying with us every single day contains an ingredient of ethanol, which is also manufactured by our customers. So believe it or not, gas detection hasn't always been this highly technical. Tanner, could you help me with getting started with asking the group a question?
Of course. So we got a question. True or false? Canaries were used as one of the first gas detectors.
Holy smokes.
So of the results we have of right now, around 90% are saying true, and about 10% are saying false.
You guys are super smart. Believe it or not, canaries were used. There are records of people still using canaries up until 1986, which was not that long ago. People were still using canaries. When gas detection originally started around the time of the Industrial Revolution, people would actually take these small birds in cages into mine sites. And if the birds started moving around a lot, they would know there might be something present. But as soon as the birds stopped chirping or stopped moving at all, miners immediately knew that they needed to get out of that environment. And miners immediately knew that they needed to get out of that environment. A lot has really changed since then. And just like the tools in a toolbox, each monitor is different and it can be used in a different environment. Some monitors are capable of monitoring just one gas, while other monitors are capable of monitoring up to 6. Some of them are super compact and super small and can be worn on the outside of a jacket. Others, like the radius that you see on the far right-hand side of the screen, are a little bit bigger and obviously not easily worn, but can be used to monitor the gases that are around an entire around an entire area. So each of them really has an important job to do in terms of keeping people safe. More importantly, when these devices are in the field, they're actually keeping a log in real time of every single thing that happens and every potential hazard that they're exposed to. So they're keeping a record of that. And eventually, when these instruments are put on a docking station that is connected to the internet, all of that information is relayed over to a supervisor or an administrator, someone who can work to make a decision on what needs to change on that job site, or let them know that there may be a potential hazard in that environment, to let them know that workers may not be able to continue working in that site because it is potentially unsafe. So like we mentioned, the devices are capable of communicating data. I'd like to share a brief video on what some of the hardware that we use, like the personal gas detectors and our software component, are capable of doing and what that looks like.
If you're a safety manager, you probably spend too much time sorting through piles of paperwork for your gas detection program, which makes it extremely difficult to track regulatory compliance, identify the hazards your people are exposed to, or provide historical data in the event of an incident. What if there was a tool that went beyond record keeping to actually help you identify hazards and manage compliance? iNet Control from Industrial Scientific provides a simple dashboard that displays everything you need to know to manage your hazards, people, and equipment right at your fingertips. When your people are exposed to hazards, you will see alarm trends across users and locations, as well as gas types and concentrations, allowing you to take action more quickly. Your people have varying levels of training and expertise, making it difficult to know how they will react in dangerous situations. With iNet Control, you will know when instruments have been shut off while in alarm, when someone has worked too long in dangerous conditions, or when instruments have been used without being bump tested or calibrated. You'll have the power to ensure your people are protected by instruments that are working properly before they make it into the field. And since iNet Control is hosted in the cloud, you'll be able to keep an eye on your program from any web-enabled device. Custom email alerts keep you informed even when you're away from the office. Whether you manage 5 or 500 gas detectors, iNet Control makes compliance easy. With the safety of your people just one click away, the decision is simple. Take control of your gas detection program with iNet Control. If you're a
So what the video really demonstrates is we're not only manufacturing gas detectors, but we're also providing a software solution to allow the folks out in the field and their managers to really kind of take a look at some of the alarms and the information that is flooding, all of the information that's coming in about gas hazards that workers might be exposed to. For the next video, I did want to introduce you to another one of our team members. Her name is Rachel Dunn. She is a mechanical engineer. Our team is made up of a lot of different people with a lot of different skills and a lot of different backgrounds. Rachel has been with us. She's a mechanical engineer, and she's really one of the first people to help us start thinking about what kind of products that we're going to build next.
Okay, hello. My name is Rachel Dunn. I am a mechanical engineer at Industrial Scientific. I work in the new product development group. So we actually get to design and develop the new instruments that our company makes. So that includes gas detectors and accessories. So working in the new product development group is a lot of fun because we work as a cross-functional team. So I work with a couple of other mechanical engineers as well as a large group of electrical engineers, printed circuit board designers, firmware engineers, project managers, quality. I work with manufacturing, so I get to see a lot of the different sides of the organization. And if you had asked me what I wanted to do whenever I was in college, I would have absolutely said that I wanted to work in research and development. So it's been a lot of fun working in new product development and get to work up front on the design, be innovative. It's very hands-on. So my favorite part of working in new product development is that you really don't know what you're going to get on a daily basis, but that's also the most challenging part. So day to day, my role changes absolutely depending on where we are in the project. So from the beginning, we really take the project and start from the ground up. So I will start, drawing out some sketches on a whiteboard and transition that into our 3D modeling software. I spend a lot of time hands-on working in the 3D modeling software. That's definitely my favorite software that we use and what I like to do the best. And that's a lot of fun because I work a lot independently as well as with one of the other mechanical engineers as we design. And then whenever we need to pull in the team for brainstorming, we'll go to a larger group and ask for a lot of different ideas that we can include once we feel ready to start getting into a whiteboard or getting into the 3D modeling and saying, here's what works, here's what doesn't, what do you guys think, what do you need in order to do manufacturing well or service well. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a very hectic couple of years in a transition through this project cycle, but it's been a really good experience. And once we're done designing, then we transition into actually prototyping parts. So we'll go and 3D print or use other like rapid prototyping technologies in order to get parts, see if they work, see if they break, see if our customers actually like them by going and getting voice of the customer. So that's the next step. And then once we do that, then there are days that are heavily testing oriented where we just drop the product, and see how it survives, how it lasts during vibration, how it lasts during heat. So that way, the customer experience is what we're seeing in our laboratory setting. So it's a lot of hands-on work. It's a lot of fun. We work with a lot of different teams. And at the end of the day, we get to make a new product that really means something once it leaves our facility. So it's a really good experience. Before I worked here, I had actually just finished college and got my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. And then this is my first job right out of college. And I hit the ground running with a role in mechanical engineering right out of the gate in new product development. And, what would I recommend that you do as a student that's interested in this? So if you are interested in anything STEM or just anything in general, the biggest advice that I have for you is just to go out and learn as much as you can. Anything that interests you, take advantage of it while you have your free time and just go learn. Just because I'm a mechanical engineer doesn't mean that things like coding or on the flip side, things like learning about plastics aren't, helpful to my everyday job. So there's a wide range of things that you will do in whatever field you end up in. And it's really important to go and get any experience that you are passionate about, because you will then use that knowledge and it will help you for the rest of your career. So definitely whatever opportunities come your way that are, something exciting and educational, I would say take advantage of them throughout, your time that you have available.
Thanks so much, Rachel. Is there anything that you're working on right now that you're super excited about?
Yeah, so right now I'm actually in between projects. We have just finished a 2-year project to release a couple of accessories for one of our instruments. So I really ramping down off of that and just finishing up some of the documentation for production. And then I'm really excited to get started with whatever comes next. That's still being ironed out. We're in the planning stages, so I don't have any real details, but I am excited to hit the ground run with another project. That's what we always like to joke about in the engineering team on new product development. We get so excited to finish a project just to start another one because we like the design part the best.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Rachel's one of our mechanical engineers, and one of the products that she really helped to really design is when she talks about accessories, we recently released a Wi-Fi battery that is capable of connecting to your Wi-Fi network. Is it something, so would you be able to, I'd like to pose a question to the group. Most Wi-Fi routers typically have a range of blank. Really close tie between 30 feet and 160 feet. The Wi-Fi router in your home typically has a range of about 160 feet. Most of our customers have really started to modernize their factories and their workplaces, and some of them are actually straight up wired for Wi-Fi. So I'd like to share with you a little bit about Venice Pro. We definitely talked a little bit earlier about some of the similarities that it has with your cell phone. So this was one of the projects that Rachel was a part of. I wish she could be here to share how excited she was to be a part of that project. So the battery connects to the Venice Pro, and it allows for that device to connect to a local Wi-Fi network. In addition to that, we also recently released a cell-enabled battery that actually uses the same network that your cell phones, that the phones that you're using connect to on a daily basis. So just like your phone, with a cell phone with the cell battery connected to it, it makes the Venice Pro capable of text messaging, so you can send SMS messages. It can also share its location to let users share where they're at. The software actually communicates to the personal gas detector, actually connects to Google Maps. So administrators can really sign in to see where someone may be at their location, or even for folks who are maybe working out there all alone, when they use a cell battery, that cell battery is communicating with the software in real time to share their location. So if something happens, they become sick, they can send an alert in real time. And we talked a little bit about NFC, and what that does is it's a transfer of data. You know, it's a small amount of data that's transferred to a personal device, and it allows for administrators to assign a personal instrument to one of their users, and that information actually pops up on a map where you can see the person that's actually using that monitor in real time. And just like your phone, it also has what we call an accelerometer. So when you're holding your phone and you're holding it vertical or you're holding it sideways and you notice that the screen changes, that's with the help of an accelerometer. And what the accelerometer does in gas detection is if an instrument is in the field and it's being used by a user, if that person stops moving, maybe they have a medical emergency, that will send an alert to the software in real time. I'd like to show with you, so I have a bunch of equipment here behind me, and I'm really excited to show you how some of the equipment works and what it looks like when it communicates to the software in real time. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second. And let me share another one here. You guys able to see the map?
Yep, it looks good.
Awesome. So in addition to the Wi-Fi battery and also a cell battery, we also have another gateway that's capable of communicating to the internet in real time. And it looks a little bit like a lunchbox. Its name is the RGX, and it also uses cell service to connect to the monitors and communicate what's happening with them in real time to the software. So I'm going to go ahead. So if you look on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see the different devices that I have connected. For someone for an administrator who's maybe watching this in real time, they can see, their users are out in the field, and green with a check mark typically means good. When we look at the yellow one, that lets us know that there's maybe a problem, that they've lost connection. And then also what I'll show you here right now is in the event of an alarm that occurs, that status will go red and it will immediately jump up to the top. And the software is connected to, you've probably used Google Maps before, and it feeds right into Google Maps. So we can go in to see how close we are. So we're right here along the parkway. So here's all my equipment. So what I'm going to do right now is expose one of my monitors to a little bit of gas. In addition to communicating in real time, what's really cool is these monitors are also capable of talking to each other. So they can form what is called using a technology called Lens, which is similar to, if you've ever used a walkie-talkie, the devices are capable of connecting with each other and sharing information across each of them. So right now, I have I have 4 devices that are connected together. I have 3 of the small handheld personal monitors that someone would wear on their jacket. And I also have one of our area monitors that someone would potentially use to monitor, in the event of a gas release or something in an area. It's loud and, blinking lights to really let you know that, don't approach that area. There's potentially a hazard there. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to expose us to some gas right now. Hopefully this cylinder. So what you'll see is everybody starts blinking. And my status here should go red. So you guys able to see the monitors that are behind me?
Yep, we can see them behind you. We can see that you turned red on the map.
So it's really cool because they connect to each other. So if we're working together, you'll know that I'm potentially in an environment where something might be hazardous, and it may not be safe to necessarily approach me. We also can share, the other thing that this monitor can do is it's also equipped with a panic button. So if someone is in an emergency, they can hold down on the panic button and it notifies all of the other monitors that I'm in trouble. So I will go ahead and silence that. Does anybody have any questions about how it shows up on the map?
Tanner, do you have any questions before I ask them from Q&A? Okay, so Miss Belgiovanni asked, how does the instrument actually detect the gas? What is it that allows it to read the fact that there is a dangerous gas nearby?
That is a great question. These monitors are all equipped. Each of them, if you kind of look really close, each of them have sensors that are installed inside, and each one of them use a different kind of, there's 5 different types of sensor technologies that are capable of detecting gas. We use an electrochemical technology that uses an electrolyte. And we also have, there's one that uses what they call, a Wheatstone bridge that looks like a clothesline running across the top of it with 2 small sensing beads on either side. So as it's exposed to gas, gas passes through, that kind of looks like those little beads, the surface of them look like an English muffin, and gas passes through there. And what that does is that passes that information on to the firmware in the instrument that there's gas present in that environment. Users have the ability to set a specific set point. So if I know that someone's going to be going into an environment where they're going in fully masked, in full in full protective equipment, I can set my alarm point a little bit, I know they have oxygen and that they're going to be safe from the environment that they're in. So I can set that alarm set point. We do follow the OSHA standards, which is someone who's very important to our customers and very important to us to kind of operate within those within the rules that they set forth in terms of safety.
Okay, thank you. That is excellent.
Absolutely.
And so interesting too. Christy also has a great question. Do you think at some point your company will make software for our phones to be able to detect gases?
That is an excellent question. We're constantly innovating. I don't know if we'll see a phone. I don't know if we'll see a phone soon, but what I can tell you is we do have a team of people who are mobile app developers that are constantly innovating and looking for new cool stuff. Soon customers will be able to sign in remotely through the help of an application without having to use a web browser. So I'm not sure, but we can definitely share that with our team to see what kind of possibility that looks like.
What is really cool is I know that we have students in the audience today that probably one day will contribute to things just like that. And I love thinking about that. So much talent in the audience being exposed to this. I can't thank you enough, Dani. It has been wonderful. Are there any other questions from Tanner or from our audience about any of the work that's done in Industrial Scientific? I know one common question that usually gets asked each day, and I'll ask it. Tanner, do you have anything before I keep yapping? Okay. And Tanner, you've been great too. Thank you for being here. Do you hire internships? Do you have interns?
We do have interns.
And what the best way is for those interns to find their way? Is it on your website?
We may have it on the website. I believe we can work with our human resources department to get something posted.
Okay, great. All right, wonderful. I'll hand it over to you, Audrey, but thank you, Tanner, and thank you, Dani.
So hi, thank you, Dani. That was awesome. Thank you, Tanner, for being with us today. I got to tell you, every time I hear about Industrial Scientific, and by the way, I actually went to, I think it was in Shanghai. You had an operations in Shanghai.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you still have it, but I actually was at the Shanghai operations. And can you, everyone still hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, you're
Sorry,
good.
my internet has been going in and out, so I just wanted to make sure if you could hear me. So I was at the Shanghai operations and I was blown away about the complexity of the devices that they have. And what I want to say to all of you, teachers, students, is that the notion of safety, I put a note out on the chat that talked about OSHA. So you can go, just Google OSHA, you can go to the .gov site. The amount of opportunities that one can have across safety is I want to say insane, because it's abundant. So when you think about safety, it could be designing apps, it could be working in customer support, it could be out in the field, it could be solving hard problems. We care deeply about safety as a society, and the jobs in that arena have escalated. So don't underestimate when someone says safety. Do some reading, reach out, find examples of the kinds of opportunities that you can actually be a part of and have an amazing career while you're really doing good for saving the world. So I just want to say that. I know that the values at Industrial Scientific are pretty closely aligned to what I just conveyed. So I just want to thank you, Dani, for doing the work that you do and showing us around your own little private lab there that's showing us all the different experiments. That was way, way cool. So I do want to thank, we had great sponsors. We had Philips and Shell and Huntington, and we wrapped up, a great week, but we still are back on Monday, right, Marie? And, we still have more. But if anyone has ideas, if anyone wants to reach out, if you want to stay connected, you heard about internships, if it wasn't COVID and soon, next year at this time, we'll probably be in a different situation. We'll get an opportunity to go inside and actually see what people are doing and see and touch and feel. But Dani's role is critical inside that organization. The company relies on that kind of support, because saving one life matters. So I want to thank everyone. I want to thank Marie. I'm really psyched about all of this. I want to thank PCTV, and I think here's the list for next week, so you can see what we've got. Don't go away. Marie has made sure that these are very, very interesting inside views of what each one of these companies are doing. So I want everyone to be safe. Have a great weekend. Thank you to everyone. Thank you especially to Dani at Industrial Scientific, and thank you, Tanner, for being with us and managing everything. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you so much.